It's about time after all these years we get this gentleman on the show, a true icon in metal and abroad, Mr. Max Cavalera of Soulfly. Max, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you too, man. How you doing?
Yeah, it's doing great. Yeah. Me and Max go back a long way. I mean, I wrote. It was out of an underground metal fanzine with his original band Sepultura. I wrote a letter to him in Brazil, and he wrote me back with a little information to order some of your merch.
Hopefully you didn't get ripped off. Right?
I did get ripped off.
Yeah, you did get.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later. But here's Soulfly is back in San Francisco in support of your latest album called Enslaved, right?
Yeah. We're touring for Enslaved. It's still kind of. It's been a couple months now that it's been out. It's great record. You know, a lot of people really like the record. It's more extreme. It's heavier, more death metal even in some songs, and just getting great reaction live. You know, we play all over Europe. We were in Europe for like 2 months, and now it's second part. We did the first part of the tour. We opened for Five Finger Death Punch, and then we did a little bit of our own headline. This tour is called Max Cavalera because it's got all my sons on it. Lodi Kong is my 2 young kids opening, and Inside, my older son Richie is in Inside, and then Soulfly is headlining, and we're playing a lot of stuff from Enslaved that is going good. World's Come and Plata Plomo and American Steel. So crowd really like it, and we're having fun. You know, this is the first show of the tour is tonight.
You had the follow-up for Sepultura, who were like getting bigger and bigger with each album and more successful than they'd ever been at the time you left them, and then it was so heartbreaking for a lot of us fans. But out of all this, a lot of good has actually come out of that fallout.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. And Soulfly is the best example of that. It was really hard to start over again after the Sepultura breakup. But at the same time, I found some kind of freedom with Soulfly. I could do a lot of things in Soulfly that I felt I could not do with Sepultura. A lot of the instrumental stuff and some of the tribal stuff, even Soulfly took it even further. And so I'm very glad I stuck with Soulfly. And Soulfly is really popular around the world. We're touring everywhere. Later this year, we're going to Southeast Asia and Thailand, Singapore, Russia, and so it's cool. I really dig it. And to me, I'm just glad that people still want to come and see my show, and I'm still here playing and having fun. I still enjoy going on tour. I'm still excited, so it's cool.
Like, we ended up getting 2 great bands. I mean, Soulfly came and did really well. Then came Cavalera Conspiracy, and that's doing well. And given credit where it's due, I mean, Sepultura is still chugging away and still out there doing it. So it's like, I think kind of everybody won in the end.
I think so, and eventually, work out for good. For me, it was more of I wanted to get back together with my brother. That was the main thing. For 10 years, I didn't spoke with Igor, which was real hard. And I made peace with him finally after he left Sepultura. And we decided to start a band together, which is Cavalera Conspiracy, which was a lot of fun. And I still doing it. In November, I go to Brazil with Cavalera. We have like 15 shows in South America, like Venezuela, Argentina, Chile, Brazil. And so I still doing stuff with Igor and mixing between Soulfly and Cavalera Conspiracy. It's great. It's the, best of both worlds.
Like, you sent me a merch catalog to get Morbid Visions and I think the EP, and I sent $40 in the mail, and I never got my stuff in the mail. Yeah. And then I saw you your first time in the Bay Area. I think it was a thing called the New Titans on the Block. You played the Omni in Oakland, I think, with Obituary and Sacred Reich, and I think Sick of It All.
With Napalm Death, right? Napalm Death was on it too.
No, Napalm Death was on the bill, and it was a pretty bad night. We could probably look back on this and laugh now because it happened way back in 1990. But I come over, I see you hanging out, and I show you the little letter you wrote me. Remember me? I ordered, I never got my stuff, and I like $40, man. I wasted, and you're like, oh man, well, let me give you a T-shirt. You gave me a T-shirt, and I'm like, okay, that takes care of $20. Can I get one of the long sleeves, and we'll call it even? And then you're like, wait till after the show, you tell me. And that night, I guess you guys were using Obituary's equipment because your first time touring the States, coming over for Brazil. It was your first time touring the States, so I guess you couldn't bring your own gear, so you're using. And during the set, you were playing and you backed up, and one of the amps fell over.
Oh, okay.
And Rob Flynn was standing there at the side of the stage, and the roadies all thought Rob did it, and they jumped Rob Flynn. Remember this big old brawl breaks? I was backstage. I see them come tumbling down the ramp backstage to the Omni. And
that was an evil night. We were all drunk, I think.
Yeah,
I think I was drunk that night.
Yeah.
I announced Black Sabbath twice. I think we played Symptom, and like 5 songs later, I'm like, we're gonna play a Black Sabbath cover now, and then I look over, Igor's like, you fucking idiot, we already played that. You know, wanted to fucking kill me, and we did like 30 mudslides before the show.
Yeah. That I don't remember, but yeah.
With the Sadist guys.
Yeah,
the Sadist guys.
But then, yeah, there was this big old brawl of it. Rob Flynn was so upset, and he was really wasted that night. And he really wanted you to know he had nothing to do with your amp falling over. He really.
And he got tackled by our roadies, right?
Yeah, exactly. And James Murphy was, hey Rob, it's my amp. I'll let him know, but he needs to know it from me, man. And it was. And then after everybody was pissed off after the show. Everybody was screaming and yelling. I go, I guess I'm not gonna get my other shirt now. It's probably not good to ask about this.
I'll give you a Soulfly shirt tonight.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we could have it.
Instead of the other 20.
Yes, and then I'll wear it on TV.
I'm doing a biography that comes out next year, autobiography. It's gonna be called Boy from Brazil, and it's got a lot of people interviews in it. But the introduction of the book is Dave Grohl is doing it.
Someone has a campaign to have a Sepultura reunion. So for the people out there, do you think there ever will be a Sepultura reunion someday?
My heart says yes. You know, I think it will happen because everybody's alive, which is one good thing. You know, and I think a lot of people really want to see. The whole world really wants to see that. You know, so it's something that is really kind of pushing. When a lot of people wants to see something, most likely it'd be a good idea to do it, you know, and you know, depends on the other guys, of course. You know, it's not my decision. If it's just my decision, we would definitely do it. Depends on the other guys, but I do believe it will happen sometime. Next year, it's 30 years of Sepultura, actually.
30 already?
30 years, yeah. Started in 1983.
Thank you for coming back to Bay Area and be on Reality Check TV, man.
Cool. Thanks for having me, man.
Any final words?
Fuck shit up. Oi!
Well, Lucas had his big rock star experience. Yeah, another one.
Yeah.
How you liking it?
Fun.
Yeah. And Max got me a new shirt. Got me a shirt.
Oh, finally.
Paid off now.
All right, now it's done. Now the $40 is done.
Yes.
Thank God. Never have to hear that story again.
Oh, you heard it. It's a good story.